Testing audio. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Why won't it let me? Hang on, I know how to do this. Oh, there we go. Perfect, just like that. If only they ever put it around like that. Oops, wrong button. Man, they made that look so much better. The exhaust bits. This looks so much cooler. This engine bay looks so much better too. This is probably the best looking engine in this game right now. Look, it even has a dipstick. Very comfy looking seats. And I don't know if... I feel like ever since the last update, they made this... Hang on, let me scoot back a little bit. I feel like they made this windscreen a lot bigger. I don't remember it being this tall. It's got really good front visibility. Anyway, if you're just tuning in, welcome to the stream. The beginning of the stream, where we explore cliff roads. If you're familiar with this channel, I have driven on cliff roads a couple of times, but not a lot. Not a whole lot. It's still a really cool map. I still have it installed and stuff. I like it a lot. It's mainly because it takes an existing map and just makes it drivable. Because, you know, Cliff has no roads on it. It's just a mountain. And this map does a good job of taking the mountain and making it cool and drivable. So that's kind of why I really like this map. And it uses, of course, a lot of old assets. By the way, if you're tuning in now, let me know if there's good audio balance. Track IR is really wigging out right now, and I'm trying to figure out why. I think it's my glasses. Give me a sec. Yeah, it was definitely my glasses. Alright, cleaning my glasses. Now I can look up. And it not go crazy. So now I can sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. This map is pretty straightforward. You know, it's a simple loop around the cliff with a long path and a short path. But the short path is more vertical. It's not the path I like to start off with because it is straight to the top. This car has pretty nice sound dampening, so I probably don't need to turn the volume down. It's only when I drive a really noisy car that I think I need to turn the volume down. I'll periodically stop and look at stuff though, because this map is really cool because it has lots of verticality to it. So it's nice to stop every now and then and take a look. haven't really gotten out and explored this map before. I've only just driven around it a couple of times. I've never really delved deep into it. This is clearly an off-roading portion of it. But, I mean, this gives you a good sense of the scope of this map in particular. Just how far it goes up. It's got some unique flowers. I remember a long time ago, I watched a video about a scenario in which you needed to be able to start from the beach and avoid a whole bunch of rocks as they fall down the cliff. That looked like a really fun game mode, but that was a long time ago. That was before I started really started recording content for this game. This windscreen is actually really good for this map because this map does have some verticality to it. It's nice to have a really tall windscreen to be able to see everything. Very fun. And just like, just like River Highway, the gas pumps do not work. But I don't think we'll be going that long that we'll need to worry about refueling. As long as I don't leave the engine running, of course. Check something real quick. Sometimes if I don't refresh, I can't see chat messages. There we go. And if I remember correctly, I think the lights actually work on this map. The few lampposts there are on this map, I think they actually do work. This forest, it's section that starts a lot earlier than I remember. The classic BeamNG bird chirping sounds. Yeah, we'll be stopping and looking a lot in this stream, just because there are some things that you really can't see from inside of a car. So I will be stopping and taking a look. There's the start of another off-road trail. After we're done with the EDK 3000 IX, I think we will switch to an off-road vehicle. I'm doing this to fulfill a request to use this car. I might drive it a little bit later, but in a separate video. I did receive a request to drive this car, so I think I will. Tree pop-in on this map is not as intense as River Highway. I don't know what caused that, or what started to cause that, actually. I cleared the cache a couple of times, and then it became really noticeable. On this map, there is absolutely zero tree pop-in. You can see the trees for miles. So, it makes me wonder if I need to... Which I didn't have that problem when I first downloaded the map, so I might need to re-download it, uninstall and re-download it. Of course, the terrain on this map is not as advanced as like River Highway. Tree pop-in may have been added as a resort to try to fix the graphic issues of the map. explore this place a little bit on foot. Inside the dirty glass and see there is stuff on the inside, but unfortunately we cannot get in. A lot of these are very familiar assets. Sometimes when, in some of my older videos, I get out and walked on foot, like for my tour video, I realized that I think in a small part, this map was intended for you to get out of the car and look around, because otherwise you would have missed this Grand Marshal in a box. Because, you know, you really couldn't fit a large car through here. Oh, here's the full-size version. If I remember correctly, the Grand Marshal Rec model is actually an old BeamNG asset. Very rusty. Even the plastic, look, it's so dirty and crusty, even the plastic bits are rusty. And that just goes down to the beach. But the other trail, I don't know where it goes. We'll check that one out later. I almost wonder if you can... Oh, nope. It stops after a while. You can almost... There, you can parkour up here if you so desire. There's nothing up here, though. That's it for this place. Let's move on to the next one. think the last time I actually drove on this map was with the high mileage diesel Moonhawk wagon carrying a trailer, playing the game like it's a driver survivor game. Which, now that I mention it, I did have a couple of ideas that I wanted to try out. Of course, one of the main problems with trying to convert BeamNG into a driver survivor game is I know where I placed all the objects. But I did mess around with the terrain builder a little bit, and I noticed that you can set it to where props will actually spawn like traffic does. And would that be interesting if the props were as unpredictable as the traffic? I might revisit this map. Then the game sort of turns into an actual driver survivor game in that regard, when I don't know where the objects are placed, when and where. It's also worth noting that the original cliff doesn't have trees on it. That's also another reason why I kind of like this one better. Is the cliff island is populated with not only roads and buildings, but also trees. And other vegetation, which makes it somewhat believable. You couldn't roll down this mountain normally. Yeah, this town right here, when I was doing my tour video, this town right here, I was walking around in it, and it really did start to feel like this map kind of means for you to get out and walk around, to explore a little bit. That's gonna get really annoying really quick if I don't do something about it. All the placement of the dirt patches and these objects really, I don't know, it really does make it feel like you're supposed to be looking. Otherwise, why put them there? I don't know why I feel so inclined. To look around and look around every house. Anyway, that's enough exploring the town, the village. There's a lot of nice places to pull off on the side of the road on this map. Yes, I remember this location. This was the place I did the Canadian spec Tasmere, or the Zignet, as it's known. I replaced this cabin right here with a trailer because I felt like that was more authentic anyway. Hello, Big American Dream. Welcome to the stream. We're just exploring cliff roads because we already explored most of River Highway. We already explored most of River Highway, so I'm taking a look at another map. I have played this map before, but I haven't really gotten close. I haven't gotten to look at it up close. Nothing. Big old nothing. If I remember correctly, this cabin asset is actually from the original version of East Coast USA. I remember feeling slightly disappointed that they replaced the cabin with an old abandoned house that looks like the ones that are scattered all throughout East Coast. I kind of don't like how it's not a unique. I mean, it is unique because it's kind of open and you can see through all the windows. But I kind of don't like how it was replaced. I missed the old cabin. Let me see down here real quick. How long ago was that? 5+ years ago? Yeah, I think that's about right. I think it was a little bit longer than that. I think it was a little bit longer than that. I feel like East Coast got a remaster. Actually, it may have been 5 years ago. I don't remember exactly when East Coast got a remaster. Hang on a sec. I just noticed something. Is my audio doubled? Hold on a sec. I think my audio is doubled. Let me try lowering one of these. and just switching to desktop audio. Okay, yeah, my audio was doubled. Oh, this was your first time knowing that the cabin got replaced? Yeah. Yeah, there was a cabin. There was a cabin on East Coast, and it got replaced. In a way, unless you play an older version of the game, this map sort of acts as like a time capsule. Because this map is actually pretty old itself, too. It was updated, right? It's been updated throughout the years, off and on. But this map was created a long time ago. And I'm not even halfway up the cliff yet. Before 2016? I think East Coast was updated after 2016. Trying to remember what the first map remaster even was. It definitely wasn't East Coast. I think at that time we were still getting new maps before we were getting map remasters. Just an example of how high up we've gotten. There's the observation area right there. It's just a little further down this way. Hang on, I'll read your comments in just a minute. Let's stop just up here, and then I'll read your comment. This is really a better place to observe anyway. Observe the mountain. One of my all-time things I wanted to add in Beam is to change sirens. Change the sirens for different... Yeah, there are mods for that. There are mods for that. I mean, alternatively, you could just put those on a loop. I did that with a couple of siren. I did that with a siren modification that I did, where I just included them all in the same loop. But even though that's still not how it goes. There's not as many places to stop up ahead. There's a high quality Crown and Vig mod that has was a change siren option. Oh yeah, that's right. If I remember the name, I think it's Maxi the Faxi made a Crown Victoria mod. I've seen it all over the place. Yeah. Steep pothole. I wanted to avoid that. Stop right here. A nice wide shoulder. Actually go down here. Ooh, yeah, we're really high up now. We still got a ways to go up the mountain. I think it's not. I think the final observation area is just up ahead. Oh yeah, we're already here. One thing that I noticed, and I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. The one thing I really noticed about River Highway is it doesn't have a soundscape. Like, it's almost completely quiet. This map actually has, like, I realized that as soon as I booted up this map. I'm like, wow, you know what? River Highway doesn't have a soundscape. This map does. It actually has some audio. It has wind blowing the trees, it has birds chirping, it has the water. I noticed that River Highway was actually pretty quiet. was kind of weird. Second thing is lights on emergency vehicles. More, like on the side runners, windows, panels. Really only has a light bar. Yeah. More lights. But I have a feeling that has more to do with the resources. More than anything. Despawn those and respawn them. They seem to be stuck. And yeah, this has a very deliberately laid path. So, very curious. Yeah, there's a mod for that. That's one of the great things about BeamNG, right? I want this thing and that thing. Oh, there's already a mod for that. That's kind of one of the good things about BeamNG. You want airbags? There's a mod for that. You want a particular car? Chances are there's a mod for that. You want more lights? There's a mod for that. Better, more realistic lights? There's a mod for that. Now the quality varies. Quality may vary, of course. This area right here would be one heck of a hyper milling challenge. Because it is so steep going downhill. Whoa. So steep. I suppose this is where we switch vehicles. Because I have driven all of the reinforced roads on this map. But I have barely touched on the dirt roads. So let's switch vehicles now. Something we can really get the most out of this particular map. And honestly, a vehicle I have not driven in a long time. And wanted to. It's around here somewhere. The way I have everything arranged right now. Let me just change it to brand real quick. Help me find it. There it is. Hypermilling. Hypermilling is like, so hypermilling is an extreme form of fuel-saving techniques, oftentimes considered very dangerous. And I might turn the volume down for this thing. So I rode in a hybrid with a friend, an acquaintance of mine, and he would do this technique, and it always kind of scared me, right? Because hypermilling techniques often involve things like getting really close to semi-trucks and just chilling out behind them in order to reduce the drag coefficient of the car we were driving. He would do this in his hybrid, and it always, like, it's just, that's dangerous. That's unnecessarily dangerous to save, you know, a couple of dollars of fuel. Hypermilling techniques also entail throwing the car in neutral while going downhill and uphill at speed. It will, throwing the car in neutral, going downhill, and speeding in order to climb a hill, things like that. Extreme hypermilling techniques, just to save money on gas. Yeah, right behind it, yes. Because the thing is, you have to get really close behind a semi-truck in order to reduce your vehicle's drag. And you might be able to do that with modern vehicles, right? Because of their, you know, autonomous sensors, right? That basically include auto-stop functions. However, when those systems fail, then it becomes an accident. That about with gas cars, point of coasting, but yeah. Well, the same thing kind of works with hybrids too. Hybrids and EVs and things like that. Same concept, just different fuel types. that's not a place to even climb. Split path. Wonder where this way goes. You have track IRL. How does it work? What do you mean? I have track IRL. Must be where the other direction went. I might want to turn around and go back. Ooh, I forgot how jank this vehicle is actually to drive on road. Saying that when you move your head, point to where you're looking. That's where you're looking. You're always trying to head to the right. Yeah. How does it work? Oh, I see what you mean. Alright, so how the track IR5 works. So basically, it's an infrared sensor, right? So like how there's a webcam, you know, where you would mount that to the top of your monitor, right? Where you would normally put like a webcam or something. In the place of that, there is a device that's tracking, you know, essentially infrared spectrum. And basically I'm wearing a hat. Yeah, every time I use this, I have to wear a hat. And it has this clip on it. And this IR scanner is programmed to be constantly searching for these 3 white bands, right, that it's detecting. It's scanning and following these 3 white bands, so that's how it knows what position my head is in. Now, of course, other head tracker devices, they just look for your eyes. They look for your eyes and they follow your eyes. The Tobii iX, I don't think works with BeamNG. I think the only way to get that to work is with software and stuff. Ooh, I never found this. I wonder if we can do this cave right here. But yeah, the Tobii iX, I don't think works with BeamNG without additional software. Third-party software. Track IR 5 is the only one, to my knowledge, that works out of the box with BeamNG.drive, and that's the one I use. Like, there's a list of games, right, on this device's application that tell you what games it runs with. And what do you know? A lot of my favorite games actually use this thing. I actually bought this thing specifically for BeamNG.drive, and it turns out that a lot of games that I also play also utilize it. Wow, that's pretty cool. Tearing up my Arata exploring this cave. That was nice. I was not expecting a cave to be here. Yeah. This goes all the way down to the beach. This way. Whoa. Maybe not. This is a lot steeper than I thought it was. I've gone... Whoa! I've gone way off the beaten path now. Whoa! Whoa! Yeah, maybe I should turn around. This looks like a nice, safe area to go down. Safe-ish, as long as it's not a sheer drop. which looks like it's going to turn into a sheer drop. Ooh. Let me stop and investigate. Yeah, that just turns into a sheer drop. Uh-oh, and I might be stuck here. Because now I have to reverse all the way back up. But this is why it's an adventure. And not a, a normal video. This is why you're exploring with me. Let's try to go this way. Oh no, it does not want to turn. Ooh, goodness. Uh-oh. Well, that's one way to turn around. Uh-oh. There we go. This is why you stay on marked trails. Otherwise, this happens. Well, that could have ended a lot worse than it did. We are truly off-roading now. Whoa. Whoa. Yes. We will all go together. Into the unknown BeamNG terrains, the most obscure, the most well-known and obscure BeamNG maps in order to find secrets and stuff. are barely, well, we are barely faster than a Covet going road legal speeds. Around here somewhere that I wanted to check out. Might not be here though. Looks like a path we can look at. We still got one working rearview mirror. How do I look both ways, left and right, on driving? Sensitivity. Oh yes, it's a sensitivity setting. It is a sensitivity setting. I don't fully turn my head, right? Otherwise, I couldn't see my monitor. Now, I would imagine if you actually did have a triple or a double monitor setup, you wouldn't need to. You could still see what you were doing. But for this setup, no, I just have one monitor, and I'm not turning my head all the way. This is now turning into dangerous roads. The map, of course. But what a view. Yeah, nice sunset. A nice and easy off-road trail. Oh yeah, that's the cave we found, so we're back on that one path. So I can go the other direction now. See where it takes me. Another split path. I think that goes back down to the road. The interesting thing is that these off-road trails do not show up in the GPS. So there could be anything on these trails. We just gotta keep looking. Oh, hello. We gotta keep our eyes peeled and we gotta look out, because we could end up back on the road before we know it. It's going this way. This takes us to the road again. That's pretty much, I think that's pretty much all there is to Cliff Roads. Hang on. It seems a bit deliberately open, but I don't think I can go anywhere. GPS trails. Makes sense, kind of looks like no GPS on trails. Yeah. Yeah. Fire sound. Oh wait, I haven't moved at all. Oh, almost backed into somebody. Oh, they were coming that way, okay. So now you see why the Arada is so expensive. It is actually quite a capable off-roader. Like this thing rolled over and it's still doing pretty well. actually had a production line. You'd personally buy the Vivas? The SBR4. That's a good choice, the SBR4. Well, both of those cars, they are very unique. Very unique indeed. Although, I don't know, I'm kind of split. I love the design cues of the Hirochi CCF, right? It's that car's main inspiration, of course, is a mixture of Subaru, Mazda, and a little bit of Porsche mixed in. That one's a really good one too. It's, you know, the CCF mod. I mean, I credit, you know, Subaru for that car's design, even though really it's a Toyota. It's a Toyota with a Boxer engine. With Subaru's Boxer engine, but yeah, that's really all it is. Have I been here before? Let's see where this goes. I think I started up this way. Oh yeah, I started up this way. B train reminds me of B trains in Australia. You don't give credit, even though it's not technically a real car. Struggling to understand. But, I mean, it's not a real car. It's okay. Technically, it's a free mod of a car, but, I mean, and it's not, I'm just saying, if BeamNG cars really existed and had a production line, right? And if it was any of them, the Hirochi CCF has got to be the one. Because it's got good styling, it's modernized, right? One of my, my big Omega criticisms of the MX-5, right, is the newest one looks the same. Like, the newest one looks approximately the same as the old one. The 2016 model, the 2026 model, and the 2016 model look approximately the same. And I don't like the grille design. I think they should update it like they did the other Mazdas and make it like a honeycomb. pattern grill instead of a weird horizontal line pattern grill. I like how Theo and Finn Wilkinson did the CCF. I think it's better looking. What I mean by the car in Beam, you said you give credits. I mean, as if you don't put credits in your videos. Subaru would sue? Oh, I see what you're asking. I see what you're asking. I mean, I don't think it's not that you get in trouble for not giving credit. It's not like that at all. We give credit because we want people to find it. It's for making YouTube content. It's just good to give credit on who made it, who made the car, right? Because you want people to find it and download it themselves. It's really that simple. Oh, I know why this is happening, by the way. There we go. I still had it in low range mode. Some nice soft sand. Uh-oh. Oopsie. I appear to be stuck in the water. Unless this is something that they have added. You don't just immediately zoop to the top of the water. That's pretty cool. I never noticed that, if that's something they fixed. I don't think I'm actually moving. I think I actually am stuck in the water. Okay. Let me read. Yeah. Grab it before you have credits. That way that people don't ask for it. Yeah. It's just easier to look it up. Let's see. What time are we at? It is 8:17. I think we pretty much explored all of Cliff Roads now. We might want to switch to another map. We might want to go on break for a little bit and then come back. Find another map. As a matter of fact, chat, what map would you like to explore next? I'm gonna let you decide. Yeah, yeah, I have real time put on right now. So, this is pretty close to real time. I set it back a little bit so that I have a little bit more daylight. I might have to set it back a little bit more. But what map? Because we've already explored all of Cliff Roads, I think. It only took a couple of hours to fully explore the map. Um, what map would chat like to see me explore next? I'm down for any and all suggestions. In fact, I will let chat decide, and I will be right back. returned. Probably not West Coast. Probably not West Coast because we will have 24 hours on West Coast. We'll have 24 hours on West Coast. We'll have plenty of time during the 24-hour stream to look at every nook and cranny in West Coast. Because that is the map we're doing this year. Once again. We will have plenty of time to look at West Coast. These are the ones that I have installed right now. It's not very many modded maps. I have Polish roads. We've already explored pretty much all of River Highway. I'm pretty sure there are no things left to discover on River Highway. I've covered this map pretty thoroughly in my videos and on the previous stream. We just did Cliff Roads. I used to have Texas, USA installed. I wouldn't mind taking a deeper look into Texas, USA. That's another map that I have made videos on in the past. It's interesting for being a really flat map. It's interesting because the roads are made really well, despite it being basically a grid. I'm really the only one that explored. But yeah, yeah. Uh, I mean, but yeah, we'll have when the 24-hour stream hits, we'll have all the time. We'll have an entire day to explore West Coast. I want to keep that one pretty fresh. I want to keep it pretty fresh. That's kind of why. Oh well, there's some parts of it. There are some parts of it actually that I probably won't look at during the stream. I think so. I'm excited for it. I've been excited for it. Uh, that's kind of why I'm getting back into streaming now. I'm kind of getting in the mood, in the mode for streaming for a long period of time. Starting by, going for at least 4 hours. 4 hours streaming. This one's gonna be cool because there's gonna be a lot more options, right, this time. There's gonna be a lot more interesting stuff that I have planned, including a functioning radio. Like I did the first stream, give it a second to load. Could I oh gosh, American roads. Oh gosh. Not American roads. Oh no. If you don't know this, right? If you don't know this, American roads was a map that was compromised by malware. I think I think the problem has been resolved by now, but just to be on the safe side, I want to avoid American roads. And it is huge, I know that. but I am that I'm pretty sure American Roads was the map uh, that has the malware attached to it. Where when there was the big, you know, Disney hack, right? When somebody used the it was I'm not saying it was American Roads, but they did something similar where they someone very high up in Disney happened to have BeamNG.drive installed on their company laptop, and they got them to download a mod, and that mod had essentially malware on it, and hackers were able to use that to get some information. We're not sure exactly what information that the hackers got a hold of at Disney, but it was significant enough that the devs had to pay attention and go in and try to fix it. They had to do a security hotfix, right? And had to, look closer at repo stuff. It was a pretty interesting time, pretty interesting thing that happened. BeamNG lore. Let's see, what's another car that I got requested to drive? I think it was a 800 series that I got requested to drive not too long ago. If I remember, oh goodness, if I remember correctly, it was a TT model. It might be this one, or it might be this one. I'm going to pick this one. Never heard of anything about that. Good to know. I've seen Komodo Gaming, Cool Kid, FBX use the map a lot. Not sure that there was before or after the malware. Yeah, we're not sure at what point. I'm not sure at what point it happened in those videos either. And yes, they have used that map a lot in their videos. And yeah, hackers hacked Disney using BeamNG.drive. Very cool. The thing is before that happened, I did watch a video um, on the security issues that BeamNG had on its repo and with some of its mods. I did see that. I just didn't think anything significant was going to happen about it. I just thought it was, oh yeah, just be aware that mods you install are not safe. And I thought that was something that everybody knew. You know what I mean? I thought that was something that everybody knew about. Don't download fishy mods from Modlands. You know, don't download stuff from Modlands at all, as a matter of fact. I mean, BeamNG has a repository, and it has a forum. There is no reason to go to a third-party website to download mods for this game. Unless the mods are violating the law, right? some shape or form. Such as all the Ferrari mods, which got scrubbed from the repo. Which, you know, goes into why I don't do real vehicles. Like, period. Heard about the lottery, what can happen just because you download something. Yeah, I mean, that's all. It's all. The internet has always been that way. Always question the sources. So I wanted to come here because this place is really cool. I barely touch this place. It is huge. The hot rolled incorporated plant is humongous, but I don't do anything over here. So it's worth coming over here and taking a walk. You know, you can go up the staircases in walking mode. They were like, yeah, let's make these a proper mesh so that the player can go up them. Steel beams, I-beams. They put beams in BeamNG, like actual beams, I-beams. Oh, I'm echoing. It could be because I'm listening to chat, listening to my own voice to make sure the audio is good. That's probably why I'm echoing. Oh, it's yeah, and ramp, just a ramp. Yep, this is where all the steel is made. All your rolled steel sheets. Oops, I had to respawn because I got stuck. Which, you know, is very important to the auto industry because these are the steel sheets they use to make cars. And they're a load option. Arranged in 10, 20, and 30-ton steel coils, which are load options for the flatbed. The most dangerous thing to haul on a flatbed, probably. Steel sheets used in construction and home building and cars. Very important. And then the I-beams. No pipes. No pipes, though. You would think that this is where the steel pipes would come from, but there doesn't seem to be a place to put pipes. Did I check out Cool Kid? MBX. I don't remember. Who is that? Oh, I didn't notice that. The fan actually spins. No idea what any of this does. Oh, this is one I don't think you can go up. Nope. The other one you can, but that one you can't. A BeamNG YouTuber, those mods you make. YouTuber. That's something he would use. Oh. Okay. Is he an RP YouTuber? I'm gonna have to check that out. I miss the good old days when people would RP in BeamNG. That's kind of why I still do it. Bright. Wonder if anybody's tried this. Oh, nope. It doesn't let you go in. Yeah, this is the coolest part of this factory, this furnace. It has it in various stages. So they have one where it's closed, one where it's open, and one where it's cooled down. And in the process of another one loading in. So they have all the steps for it. Which is really nice. So see, it's unloaded and ready to go again. Workplace accidents. Zoop. And there's an entire area down here, even though it's mostly nothing. Pumps, exhaust, water. Some areas that are so small, a normal car couldn't fit through them. Also, yes, he's a bit more into racing, crashing, swerving way through, just like swerving through traffic. Hide and seek challenges? Oh yeah, 100%. West Coast is the best map for hide and seek. There are lots of places to go and lots of places to hide. And yeah, this tunnel is honestly so small. There's not a lot of vehicles that can actually fit through it. A pigeon could fit through it, but not much else. Just curious, exploring these immense tunnels. Because it's actually kind of crazy how all this is down here. Flatbed trailer with a custom steel coils, excavators. Yeah, I tried the excavator prop mod and it seems to have broken textures. I tried using it recently with Fun Physics's travel trailer, and it seems that that the textures for the excavator prop mod are broken. So no dice. Hmm. Yeah, I haven't actually been down here very much, so this is pretty cool walking this on foot. Because now I feel pretty lost. Okay, that leads. Where does that lead? I think that was where I started from. Or maybe that was a loop. Oh gosh, if it was a loop, then I'll never escape this place. Which, you know, if it's a loop, then it explain, like, if it's a loop, then it's good for you know, increasing the giving you the impression that it's a huge facility, right? If it loops around on itself, then it gives you an impression that, oh, this is a lot, this is huge, when really it's a loop. And I think I am back where I started now. Yeah, okay. So I looped myself around and got back here. So let's go this way. What is this way, actually? Oh, oh gosh, there's so many paths to take. Yes, Escape the Backrooms BeamNG edition. That's kind of how it feels like. That's kind of exactly how it feels. If some of these tunnels are looping, then it definitely feels like it's very Backrooms-esque. Ah yes, there's big generators down here, transformers down here. I mean, I really should change the title of the stream because we're no longer on Cliff Roads. If you are just getting here, we are no longer on Cliff Roads. We have already explored all of Cliff Roads. We are on West Coast right now. I'm just exploring the underground tunnels of the Hot Rolled Incorporated place because I really don't come over here very much. Okay, we're back to this center area. We're back to this center area. Where does this go? I think this is the only one I haven't went to. Okay, we're back under the factory. Backrooms mod map in Beam? Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Okay, this tunnel feels a little different. It feels a little different because it curves in. And we're back here. And we're back here. Okay. So going down didn't go anywhere. Oh wait. No. Okay, yes. So that way didn't take us anywhere, so let's go this way. Have I gone this way before? Ah, gosh, I don't even remember. I don't even remember if I've went this way. I kind of know where I'm at. Okay, this is familiar. And that goes outside. Pretty sure I am just looping at this point. I am pretty sure that none of these actually lead back. Okay, I hear vehicles, so I'm close to something. Go ahead, give me your challenge suggestion, and I'll tell you whether or not I can do it. Alright, and this leads back here. What if I go, well, what if I go this way? Okay. Let me try to go this way. Did I just go this way? I think I might. I think I came from that way, didn't I? The easiest way to find where I'm trying to go is to hop in the car and then go to the canal. Yeah, because that just curves back this way. So I think I'm gonna hop back in the car, figure my way back out of here. I'll just go the way I came. hop back in my car and go to the canal. Go down to the river. Alright, an Australian challenge. Kinda like my Canadian one, but with 10 53-inch trailers. Yeah, it would have to be a pretty big map in order to support 10 of those. None of the maps that I know of come to mind to support that. Um, Johnson Valley? Alright, let me sit up for this. Yes, but to be fair, there is no drop-off area, plus I don't think there is a map. Like for real, Australian jobs, yeah, no. Unfortunately, the African map would be a good candidate. Unfortunately, that map was scrubbed from the repo for some reason. I am not sure why. It was removed from the repo. This was where I was trying to go before. Not insane, overloaded. Well, okay, a simple custom green semi hauling a dump truck. So like using FP's T-Series wrecker. Because I have wanted to do another one of those. One where I actually use the recovery uh, upfit for the T series to roll a semi back over. A little fun behind the scenes thing that happened when I was playing River Highway. I was actually working on a recording for hauling some rocks and other sediment to a location, and my truck tipped upside down, and I actually did try to use the moment to test out the recovery vehicle, and it worked out pretty well. It managed to tip the semi truck back over with its load mostly intact, and I was able to take it to its destination. The reason why I didn't upload that was because um, Fun Physics's recovery crane makes my PC have a heart attack, and the video was unwatchable. Trailer. Yes, that idea works too. Yeah, then I'll use FP's travel trailer, land travel trailer, to do that. Somebody did request that I do that video again, where I haul the Segras using a Segra. And I'm like, I'm sorry I can't give you a third person perspective of that video just simply because I didn't record it with BeamNG's built-in recorder. And carry a dump truck? Yeah, I can do that at some point. Not sure when. Yeah, big tunnel. This is a big tunnel. Oh, okay, that's how you get here. That's how you get here. You get here through this area. That's why I couldn't find it. And it ends right there on both sides. Yeah, this game does this game does tend to, what you call it, it does tend to mess with your own what's the word for it? Psychosis? Yeah, I think that's the word for it. Um, and I think that might be because people want to be afraid of some stuff in BeamNG, you know? I think people want to be afraid of something in BeamNG, but really there's nothing there. I saw a video on BeamNG at night, right? BeamNG is spooky at night and all that stuff. It really isn't. There are reasons why I think people feel this way. One of them being, of course, that none of the official scenarios actually use nighttime. Like, none of them. Nighttime is still a work in progress. Still technically a work in progress. No official scenarios use it. Sort of like how weather effects are work in progress, and they don't use them officially, but they're there. Like things like snow and rain are actually in the game by itself. You just have to set them up. Yeah. Nighttime weather effects are still a work in progress, and that's why they are not officially implemented. But the tools to produce weather are in the game. All of them, including the wet roads, the fog, the skyboxes, right? All the stuff for you to produce a realistic looking rain various weather conditions are in the game already. They're just not officially implemented. I'm just gonna teleport to my car. So in some of my videos, I am driving in harsh weather. That's not a mod. That's something I actually did. I set up myself. However, in those mods, I did use, I most likely used a windshield wiper mod. Which helps kind of drive home the fact that it's raining. You do it in the settings. There's a whole other process. There's a whole other process. There's a whole other process to adding weather effects in this game. It's not a setting, because weather is not officially implemented. So, since weather effects are not officially implemented, you have to do some things in order to make it happen. Here, I'll demonstrate. Hello. Have I tried RLS? Also new here if that wasn't obvious. Welcome, Thomas. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. From Cliff Roads. We just came from Cliff Roads. I'm sorry you missed it, but we did explore pretty much all of Cliff Roads already. you know, we went on a little adventure, and I think I found everything there is to find on Cliff Roads, including some things I was not expecting to find, such as a small Grand Marshal in a cardboard box and a cave. Honestly, was not expecting to find a small Grand Marshal in a box. There's an add-on to Career that makes Career more roleplay-ish. Yeah, I've heard of RLS. I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure about it yet. I'm sure RLS is where BeamNG is going, like where they're developing career mode already. I kinda don't see the point. You know what I mean? I kinda don't see the point of overhauling career mode when I'm pretty sure that's the direction they're going anyway. A small grand, yeah, you missed that. That was very, like, very early on in the stream. On Cliff Roads, there is a small Grand Marshal in a box. By the abandoned gas station, the second gas station you find on that map. I want to do some exploration here. Go to East Coast USA. Yeah, the dev team of RLS made RLS. Instead of trying to import RLS to every single map, they essentially gave users the tools to do it ourselves, which is cool and good. So you can do RLS on any map if you set it up yourself, really, which is very nice. And the reason why he said he did that was because it's just too much to try to add the overhaul to every single map. So he just gave us the tools to do it ourselves, which is nice. So if you want a map to have RLS, you can set it up. I think he said he was gonna make tutorials on it and just kind of show people how to set it up. But game's frozen. Let's see. What was I gonna talk about? Yeah, this is a cool place they added, right, in one of the updates. When they with the T-Series update, they updated this part. This whole island was not here. So it's just kind of nice. This is a kind of nice little underpass area. The thing is, I have like a million, and I bought a GMT 400. Two-door Tahoe. Yeah, that's probably why it's freezing. It's probably why it's freezing. So this is a neat little detail about this map, right? This map actually has a lot of walkable staircases. And this is one of them. It's really neat. It just takes you to the tram area. Right, and the tram goes, through Central Station and then underground through the depot. Unless over 8 plus cars, it drops like 50. And then, yeah, the tram comes through here, it stops here, and then you can also use this walkway to go across. Right, it just takes you to this Tyrannos gas station. Haven't really explored the island on foot, so it's interesting. Oh, by the way, if you don't know this building doesn't have any collisions on it, so you can go in it. You can go in quotations in it. For whatever reason, this gas station does not have any collisions. It's one of the bugged buildings that is still currently in the game. Which I actually thought they fixed that in a hotfix, but I guess they did not. Can cars go in it? Yes. For whatever reason, that gas station does not have any collisions, so vehicles can go inside of it. I am not sure. It's just left over, right? A lot of buildings on West Coast actually don't have missing collisions, and they've been patching them out. They have been patching them out. I actually didn't notice, but there actually is a beech tree in this game. I never actually seen one. There actually is a unique tree model in this game, in this island. Very interesting. I never noticed that. I spend a lot of time looking at foliage in BeamNG.drive, and I have not noticed that these trees are actually different from every other tree in this game. Very cool. Just casually stroll across the highway. Just because I've never seen this part of Spearleaf Island, I never thought to explore this part of Spearleaf before. As you can see, there's no grass. There is no grass. And the reason is because it is outside. This part of the map is outside of the deformable terrain area. So there can't be any grass planted here. And that's why there is no grass on Spearleaf. Most of the mods our IRL cars. Pack some stuff to goof around with. Just be careful with those real-life car mods. I was talking about this earlier, but a lot of Modland mod cars have malware in them. Yep, it's this part is just outside of the deformable terrain, and that's why there's no grass. Unfortunately, there is no way to fix that. This whole island is actually mesh. So that's the reason. Like this map is outside of the deformable terrain area, so this whole island is actually mesh. Well, not all of it. The roads are mesh. They have to be mesh. But I think the terrain is actually formed, but it's not formed in the traditional way. That's crazy to think about, actually. It's crazy to think about this whole island. This whole island's roads are mesh materials. So, a lot of the stuff on the island you can't actually delete. This is another place I don't come to very often. It's the refinery. Looked into my career profile. Yeah. Also, bear in mind that a hotfix may have broken it too. They've been posting. They posted the last hotfix that the devs posted. They didn't have any change logs for, so I'm guessing it was something. It wasn't anything noteworthy. But you know, a hotfix could be enough to actually break your save files. I gotcha. Yeah, I haven't played career mode in a while. This place at times looks like a skate map. Actually, you want to know something? That was a map I was actually considering doing at one point. The skate map. I forgot what the name of the place is called. I think it's just called Skate City. Yeah, Skate City from the video game Skate. Somebody ported that map to BeamNG, and I kind of wanted to check it out. It's nice approaching the lighthouse from this perspective. Don't normally walk to this place. I normally just drive here. So it's nice to take the walking path over this way to the lighthouse. I've actually never gotten a close look at the lighthouse either. I just know it's here. I know the lighthouse is here, I just never looked at it closely. Let's see, it's caged up. It's got some touristy things, including these Spanish-style homes. Does it light up at night? No. I'm very certain it doesn't light up at night because there are no lights on West Coast USA. Like, none of the lights work. That's why, that's why this is kind of a weird map to play at night. Very few maps, official maps, actually have lighting in them. Jungle Rock has lights. Small Island has lights. Utah, USA has lights. And Johnson Valley has lights. Currently. So it's a lot of maps with a small population have lights. That's for performance reasons. Too fast. If you don't know Big American, I did make... If you want to know more information about the lore and stuff about BeamNG, I did make a couple of useless information videos a couple of years ago. Some of that information is dated, but some of it still holds up. Like, some of that information is outdated and it's no longer relevant, but some of it is still true. Most of it is still true. That's only if you're curious, of course. It goes into small details, very small details. Some content creators have went over them after I did. Some of them have more information. useless information. The problem is simply that there is not a whole lot of information I can go over that somebody hasn't already talked about. There's not a whole lot of information like that left. However, there are some things that I know people haven't talked about yet. The only thing is I can't do a video on just one thing or two things that people haven't talked about or I haven't heard talk about. So I need more stuff. A lot of people are kind of... I mean, I did too when I did my first useless information video. I was kind of grasping a little bit. I was kind of grasping. It is nice to know that in retrospect I was correct, right? In my assumption, essentially an assumption, right? Because I had no information before to corroborate it. Actually, let me show you, because I haven't made a video about it yet. Let me actually show you what I'm talking about specifically. Deep lore. There's not that much deep lore. A lot of it is pretty self-explanatory. Some of it I mean, a lot of the information you can go without knowing, but it is cool to point out stuff and be like, hey, this is this thing, and also this thing as well, right? And this is why I wanted to show you guys this as soon as I find it, because it was added just this update. As soon as I find it, here we go. And I was actually very pleased to see this. So for the Miramar, right? You know, they updated the engine meshes for this car, just this update, right? And in my my first useless information video, I talk a lot about Okudai, or I mention Okudai, not a whole lot. I do mention Okudai, and I'm like, oh yeah, Okudai is an Ibishu tuning company, right? I said that without really knowing. I just assumed it was because of Nismo's relationship with Nissan. That's the only real way I said that. The only real reason I said that. And I also knew that, at the time, I knew that Okudai made a body kit for the Covet, and they made some wheels, which Nismo, if you don't know, Nismo makes parts for Nissan, right? Simple as. So that's why I said that. I knew that Okudai made a body kit for the Covet, and I knew that they made some wheels that would go on Ibishus, right? Because those could be factory options. So this very pleased me to see this. I was correct. Look, it's an Okudai turbo kit for the Ibishu Miramar. This part right here essentially confirms what I was talking about in retrospect. Okudai is a tuning company for Ibishu cars. Neato. So, and that happened, they added this, just this update, and I had no way of actually knowing that was the case. So now a piece of information that I merely speculated on turned out to be correct. So I'm very happy about that. Went over the road, was an intersection. Yeah. And there are a couple of other things I want to go over. I mean that just supported my details, right? A detail I made in one of the videos. Some of the things that they have actually changed that are no longer true. I'm trying to think of a good example of one. Um, that are just no longer true. Grr. What was it? Oh yeah, of course. Hirochi's relationship with East Coast USA. Uh, a bit disappointed, but for 0.35, specifically for 0.35, for the sunburst. That was the big sunburst update. Let me actually check this, because I meant to check this the other day. Because I'm like, oh, they removed it? Wait, they removed it? Let me see. They they changed the sunburst so much in 0.35. Uh, they changed the sunburst so much in 0.35. Um, I was a little bit sad to see some of the stuff was gone, like missing from it completely. So, one of the things that the sunburst is missing now that it's been updated is a sunroof. There's no sunroof for it anymore. I was a little bit disappointed. A little bit disappointed at that fact. No sunroof. There's no sunroof. I liked, like, how can you call this car a sunburst with no sunroof? Anyway, I'm just like, well, you know, my brother had a Subaru Legacy and it had a sunroof. Maybe the Impreza never had a sunroof. I'm not sure, but I was really happy about that sunroof, even if it's kind of a useless feature. But the thing is, this car had a sunroof uh, prior to 0.35, and they removed it. It was a very strange thing. Also, another thing that they removed was the Turbo Rabbit fender flares, which is a bit of a downer. Because I liked, you know, as much as I actually hate bolt-on fenders, because I think they just don't look good. As much as I hate bolt-on fenders, I'm actually kind of disappointed they're gone. So no more Turbo Rabbit bolt-on fender flares. The only car that has them now is the SBR4. But also, and I meant to double check this. I meant to double check this. Oh wait, no, it's still here. Never mind. Look, there it is. There it is right there. That's why I had to check it. That's why I had to check it. So, and the reason why I had to check it was I thought they got rid of the Furwood Police Livery for the Sunburst. I thought they did. Because it does not appear in the config list. And that is something I can actually bring up in my video now. I'm just like, well, I thought it disappeared. No, here it is. It's right here. It's been here the whole time. Hello, Bevel. Wow, as soon as I said hello, there was an accidentes. But yes, welcome to the stream. Right now we're just calming down a bit and just relaxing and chilling. We already explored Cliff Roads. We've seen it. So we're just kind of winding down right now. I'm just talking about some stuff. Right? I thought the Furwood Police Livery for the Sunburst was gone, and it turns out no, it's still here. It's just in the config selection. So yay, I'm glad I learned that. I thought it was gone for good. And they've updated it even. It looks better than the old one. It's more crisp and clean. So actually expect that to be a video soon. Or maybe I'll talk about it in my third useless information video. Oh, since we're talking about the Sunburst, did you know that the Sunburst has two Policia liveries? An early one and a late one? Despite there being no config for them. So this can be an Italy police car. However, you know what they did remove now that I paid attention? Oh, there's a... Oh, this is something I didn't know. They added a Belasco livery for it. So Belasco PD can use the Sunburst now too. I did not know that. That's pretty cool, actually. So that effectively makes the Sunburst the newest vehicle in the PD. And the thing is, this might be a car that Belasco PD would actually use. Because a lot of Metro Police switched to compacts. And since this is specifically Metro Police, it makes sense that they would use both the Grand Marshal and this car. Because Metro Police, especially in the Bay Area of San Francisco, still use Crown Vics and compacts like this car. So very cool. I didn't actually know that. Gendamari livery is still here. Based on retained after the famous uh, Mitsubishi Lancer Gendamari livery. Back when this car performed more like a Mitsubishi Lancer than a Subaru. Alrighty, goodbye. Alright, goodbye all. Goodbye all. Some people leaving. So, interestingly enough, I think this puts the Sunburst officially having the most service variants out of all the vehicles. I might have to double check this, but that's something you can talk about. I mean, effective 0.35, the Sunburst has the most amount of service variants, which is odd. Let me see what time it is real quick. It's 9:45. You know what? Actually, I'm going to end stream right there. I'm actually going to end stream right there today. I was going to end stream at like 10 o'clock, and it's 9:45. I'm just going to end it right there so that I can take care of some things before I go to bed. So anyway, I hope those who have stayed have enjoyed the stream, and I will see you tomorrow. I'm actually streaming tomorrow. Yes. The time zones. Time zone difference. You know, time zone difference. Um, yeah, I will be streaming again tomorrow. This was a bit of a scuff stream, just because we got through Cliff Roads a lot faster than I thought we would. But we'll have a new map downloaded tomorrow, and we'll explore that one, and hopefully it will be bigger than Cliff Roads, because in my mind, I thought Cliff Roads was a lot bigger than that. But anyway, y'all have a good night. Ciao.